11:35 p.m., Friday, March 14th. I just walked in the door 10 minutes ago after being out for just about 12 hours, leaving the building earlier today shortly after noon and not getting back until 10 minutes ago, which was 11:25 p.m. Everything was fine, had a busy day, got a lot of stuff done, had a nice evening sitting at one of my favorite cafes, sent a lot of emails, called a few people, and now I walk in here and my head feels like it's about to burst open with cabin pressure, a cabin pressure type of sensation. And the sensation is running from my head all the way down through my feet. And that is a directed energy device. That is Irizarry, the paid, perving, creeping, psycho, scum, hate stalking reject, who is once again using her directed energy device to electronically assault other tenants from somewhere in this building. Oleg Eliseyev, her friend and handler at the Greenville Group, claims that she still lives in this building and that he moved her out of 78, but that she is still in this building. That was as of 2 years ago. And Irizarry's behavior 2 years ago is exactly the same behavior than it is now. So the nonstop sickening fumes from somewhere behind that wall continue. The violent slamming and banging at 3:45 a.m. against the wall behind my toilet from inside the bathroom of 78 when I try to quietly use my toilet at 3:45 a.m. like randomly continues. That's been going on for over 10 years. The use of a directed energy device to electronically assault me when I'm in this unit and engaging in certain activities, but not others, that trigger the psychopath to get all jiggy and worked up with her directed energy weapon. That continues. And that's been going on for 6 years now. 2018, started in 2018, continues now in spite of dozens of written notices to the Greenville Group about their paid sponsored psychopath engaging in some extremely dangerous, potentially lethal activities. The use of a directed energy device on anybody who might have a heart condition or a cardiac issue, like a fragile blood vessel, can cause an aortic aneurysm, can cause a heart attack, can cause a stroke, can cause a breathing obstruction in the lungs, can cause a blood clot in the lungs to travel into the airway and kill the person. So when Irizarry brags on social media about using a directed energy weapon on me, claiming she's not using it that hard, but that she has it mounted on a tripod and she is aiming it at my head, not only is she making accurate comments about where the use of the directed energy device takes place on my physical body, but she is also admitting full on in public that she is doing exactly what I keep saying that she's been doing, and what I've been saying she's been doing for years. She is admitting to exactly what I've been saying that she's been doing, and I've been saying this for years. So right now, I just walked in the door. Everything was fine as I was walking down the street, crossing the street, going up the stairs. But boom, as soon as I step into this unit, my head feels like it's about to explode. I'm suddenly getting ear-splitting pain, eyeball-popping head pressure, and the sensation of intense, sickening, squeezing, and pressure is going all the way down through my feet, and that is a directed energy assault using a directed energy weapon. Interestingly enough, 60 Minutes and CBS News have made some really good hour-long documentaries recently about the use of directed energy weapons. And guess who likes to use directed energy weapons? Russians. Not that I have a problem with Russians, because I have several friends who are Russian, from Russia, and they are great people, but they are not career criminals like the Greenville Group, like Mr. Eliseyev, like the Koritnik family, and like Jasmine Irizarry. They're all career criminals with obviously some interesting resources that allow them to use some unusual technologies. And boom, you get a directed energy device that is being constantly used to electronically assault me and prevent me from being able to safely be in my unit, to safely lie on my bed, to safely use a toilet, to safely take a shower. I was getting electronically assaulted this morning when I was in the shower by Irizarry's use of a directed energy device, but it stopped when I left the building, which means that she's not able to literally chase me down the street firing that damn thing at me. I'm not even sure how that works. But according to YouTube and according to Google, you can actually make your own directed energy device by following some how-to instructions on the internet. So Irizarry claiming that she's an IT expert is maybe not that far-fetched for her to be making her own. Or maybe the Kritnik family, who seem to have connections to the Russian mafia, as I've been informed by 6 people now, maybe they have access to unusual technologies such as directed energy devices that seem to be most commonly used in Russia or by Russian operatives or groups. Also, this is a clean pair of pants that I washed very carefully with several types of disinfectant, not just one. 3 days ago, I dried them and carefully folded them, and now they smell absolutely disgusting. Like somebody just smeared some really nasty body fluids all over these pants. The last time I smelled them, they smelled fresh and clean, and I have not worn them. That is also a sign that Irizarry has been in here. I don't even know how she keeps getting in here, but this has been going on since she was moved into Unit 78 in 2013. That's when all my nice clothing started getting vandalized, contaminated, messed with. All of a sudden, holes would be ripped in the fabric where there was never any hole, and there shouldn't be any holes, like, in the middle of a shirt or something, like not even near the button placket. So, somebody just smeared all kinds of nasty, horrible, stinking stuff on my clean pants over the last 3 days. And because I locked the door and there's really no reason for anybody to be able to get in here, I'm assuming it's the career criminal, psychopath, psycho trash, hate stalking, paid criminal harasser named Jasmine Irizarry, who's been doing this now for 10 years. I cannot wear those pants. They smell so nasty. I now have to rewash them, re-disinfect them, spray them down with rubbing alcohol even after they've been hanging up to dry. And I refuse to use the laundry facilities across the street because those washers are so disgusting and nasty. Your clothes are much more likely to get contaminated by putting them in the washer than just leaving them out. So I'd rather just wash my clothes in the sink. And as I'm making this video, I'm just getting blasted in the head by Irizarry's directed energy device. Interestingly enough, it stops when I go to the back of the floor. So it's extremely location specific. And now I have to call the Greenville group and tell them that once again, I halted my trip to the court today because A, I have better things to do, and B, I wanted to see if the Greenville group would get their act together and actually get some functionality going in this unit. But I continue to not be able to shower. I continue to not be able to finish rinsing off in that shower because the water stinks like vomit and like somebody's 90-day-old filthy feet when my feet are completely clean, and I'm always spraying them down with alcohol anyway. They don't smell like anything. So the foot smell is coming from somebody else's shower water that seems to be recycled out of my shower and out of my tap. It's disgusting, and it smells so nasty that as soon as it starts coming out of the shower, you have to jump out of the way. Otherwise, you're getting blasted in the face by some really nasty sewer-smelling shower water. This continues to happen, and the Greenville group are doing nothing about it. So this is why tenants can actually file restraining orders against their landlord for the landlord's negligence and refusing to address, violent behavior from other tenants that they deliberately rent to, knowing that these tenants are criminals or psychos or sex offenders. You can file a restraining order against your landlord for failing to provide functioning utilities, for failing to fix stinking tap water, for failing to move dangerous tenants that they know are dangerous, but they're refusing to do anything about. So time to call the Greenville group once again. And right now my head is like literally about to explode. My eyeballs feel like they're about to pop out. So I have to stop. This is ridiculous. But if it continues, time to file a police report and take Irizarry itself to court. Irizarry is so mentally disturbed. I would love to see how Irizarry happens to do standing in front of a judge and explaining what she's doing, right? It's not science fiction. Everybody knows directed energy devices are used, that they are used much more commonly than people realize, and they're primarily used by Russians. Again, there's nothing wrong with being Russians. One of my closest friends is Russian. I've been friends with her for 14 years. Love her. She's from Russia. But she's not a criminal, and she's not using a directed energy device to electronically assault people she doesn't like. Unlike Mr. Eliseyev of the Greenville group, unlike the Kritnik family, who are sponsoring Jasmine Irizarry. And every time I mention to the office staff that Irizarry is off the rails again with her constant harassment, wall slamming and banging, nonstop smoke and fumes from behind that wall, tampering with the utilities in here, stinking up the tap water, using a directed energy device, their response is, Oh, we'll talk to the owners and let them know. So she has a connection to the owners. They're the ones who are obviously letting her live in this building, and therefore the criminal negligence is on them. Their names are Victoria and Alex Kritnik. Their son, Boris Kritnik, seems to be also a property manager here. And Oleg Eliseyev, who like 5 people have told me it looks like he's straight out of the Russian mafia. Well, he also is, sponsoring Irizarry and has really bragged about her on multiple occasions, telling me that she's such a talented hacker. She can get into anything. I'm starting to think Irizarry is Russian herself, even though she's not. She's Mexican. Maybe she was trained by the drug cartels. I don't know. But she does have an impressive bag of criminal tricks that she carries around. And obviously there's some foul-smelling stench that she uses to contaminate my clothing that last time I smelled them a day ago, they smelled perfectly clean, fresh, and sanitized. And now they smell like a combination of someone's filthy ass crack and roadkill. So I don't know. I'm going to crunch the numbers on that one and figure out what that could possibly be. But again, it's not going to be worn. I can't wear them. I'm going to have to disinfect them again in my sink. And this just happened over the last 24 hours. These were clean 2 days ago, perfectly nice, clean, fresh smelling, and I did not wear them. So I'm really, it's the same thing that's been going on for over 10 years now.